Hello, my name is Carter Hoff, and I'm a doctoral candidate with Acacia University. Today we'll be talking about digital learning tools, and I'm currently a middle school math teacher teaching in Vicenza, Italy, and I teach a variety of STEM classes as well as a 6th grade social studies class. And we've actually been impacted by the coronavirus, COVID-19, for 8 weeks now. And over that time, our teachers have researched and implemented a wide variety of digital learning tools. And I'd like to take the time to highlight 4 of those digital learning tools, as well as share some additional resources that might make your classrooms a little more effective and efficient during this time. The first software I'd like to highlight is Khan Academy. It's an online tool that's geared towards K through 12 students, specifically math, science, arts, humanities, test prep, and a variety of STEM-related topics. It's completely for free, which amazes me each time I use this program because of the wide variety of support it offers both students and teachers. I've created a test class, and before I get into the content, I'd like to walk you through some of the features I appreciate most about Khan Academy. The first is an activity overview, and very quickly a teacher can get a quick note on how the students are progressing, not only in skills they've leveled up, but the amount of learning time that they've actively been participating in within Khan Academy. You can choose a specific day, or you can create a custom range to track progress over a longer amount of time. Another great feature is the opportunity for mastery learning. As we know, students advance at different rates, and you have the ability to create individualized goals for students as they progress through the course. Additionally, you can track progress both on an individual and as a class level, and again, that's all dependent on the content that you teach, which we're going to talk about now. So I've chosen a 6th grade math course, and these are based on the Common Core standards in the United States. It's absolutely amazing how well they specify these in terms of the individual lessons that can be assigned to students individually or to a class in general. So for example, here's a variety of lessons that are going to be discussing equivalent ratios. You'll also note that they have formative assessments in the terms of quizzes, and towards the end of each unit, at the end of each unit, they offer a summative assessment, and it's absolutely phenomenal how quick that feedback can come to students and teachers alike. To enroll a student in the class, you would simply manage students, and you have a few options. You could individually add a new student to your class and assign them a username and password, or you can share a class code, which I find to be the most efficient way. Students would then create their own Khan Academy account, enter the class code, and then they would populate within your class specifically. Again, this is an absolutely fantastic resource, not only for math, but a variety of other tools as well. I specifically use it for some of my programming classes that I teach. The next resource I'd like to discuss is Screencastomatic. This is an absolute must for any teacher who would like to move to the digital platform. As we all know, synchronous learning, whether through Zoom, Google Meet, or any other platform, can be difficult for both students and teachers. While it serves as a great purpose for immediate instruction, we all know that there's times where we need to make tutorial videos and present those to students that can be accessed at any time. It's a completely free service as well, although they do offer a pricing that offers more services. But in order to use this, you would simply follow the tutorials that are listed here, and you would download a software program that downloads directly to your computer and allows you to record your screen and or your video, and as you progress through the lesson, the students can follow along at their own pace and at their own time. Videos can be saved in a video format and uploaded to any type of platform, for example, a Google Classroom, a website, or any other learning management system that you happen to use. The next feature I'd like to talk about is Google Forms. When I first started this digital learning, I really did not understand the best and most efficient way to gather the student feedback in terms of their daily assignments. And so I quickly found that Google Forms are by far the best feature. And if you go to a Google Drive, you would need to sign up for a Google account. You would click New, and down in the More section, you'll find a Google Form. And you can create, and as you do that, you'll notice that it starts as a blank form. However, if you went back here and you went to New, More, and then hovered over Google Forms, they also offer templates. So if you wanted to pick something that's already been created, you definitely could. You could title the form with any title you'd like, provide a student description in terms of instructions, and then populate this in any way you would like. You can add in YouTube videos, specific questions, and those questions can have a variety of answer type ways. So you can have short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, and drop-down menus, as well as a few others. To give you an idea of one that's already been created, this is one I used for one of my video classes. And so as you can see here, when it loads, I have the students enter their name, watch a short movie, and then answer questions all directly on this form. Now, what I like the most is that it populates all student responses right into one easy to read, although a bit hectic and chaotic form. And I find this to be the most efficient rather than dealing with individual emails that students might send you regarding this work. Now, it will do a timestamp so it can tell when it has been created. You can choose it to enter an email if you'd like. However, it would require a Gmail account. As I said earlier, you could have the students enter their names. And then all the questions that are asked at the top are answered just below for each student. You could even add a new column here and enter in your grade, which could then be copied over to your grading software. Another feature that I use Google Forms for is when students need to turn in a set of videos for my video production class. So for here, this might work in an art class or any other class where students aren't necessarily turning in just one assignment, but maybe a collection of photos or a collection of videos. So students are able to upload their work into a Google Drive, share that link into a Google Form, and then they automatically populate, again showing the time that it was submitted, and a very easy to access link to their documents. Now within the Google form itself, if you wanted to send those to students, you would just simply send. And you could enter in all their email addresses, or what I often do is email, or more often than not, include on my lesson plan the link directly to the form. So once students have access to this form, they can click it and it'll go directly to where they enter all their information. One thing to note, if you're not going to collect names, again, you want to make sure that you collect email addresses, but that does ensure that you must ensure that your students have a Gmail account already, or it won't populate. This is also great for surveys, not only for students, but for parents, and it'll present the data that comes back in both graphical form as well as a numeric form. So once again, Google Forms are absolutely a fantastic way to collect student data efficiently and effectively. The last program I'd like to highlight in detail is Tinkercom. And actually, one of the reasons why we've used this in the past is for my programming class, but it could be used in a variety of settings from kindergarten through usually upper middle school. And currently, they're offering free access to their site based on schools that are impacted by the COVID-19 closures. So to access that, you click here and you'll actually fill out a Google form, and then a day or two later you'll receive a code and you'll be made an administrator at your school who can then have access to over 300 students to enroll them in different courses. I'm confident that Tinker, if you worked at a larger school, would have an opportunity to expand that if needed. So as you can see here, I teach a variety of courses through Tinker. I've created a test class though, and if you go into their courses, you have the ability to see all the curriculum that they have. Again, it's broken down by grade level or by content area. And one of the things that I've realized that is very crucial for me is to give students a continuity of learning based on what we were doing in school to what we're doing in our digital learning environment. One of the classes that I teach was applied technology, and we teach that through the framework of robotics, hands-on robotics. And unfortunately, we don't have the opportunity to give those robots to our students during this time. And so one of the classes that has been real popular with the students is this drones activity. And so it allows students to digitally work with their drones and code them themselves. And again, it has a variety of different topics. If you're interested in having your students learn programming languages, they offer both JavaScript and the ever-growing in popularity Python at a variety of different levels. They also offer things like web development, or if you want to get into other types of coding, or even different types of schooling, they offer some additional resources here. Obviously, this is only available for free for a certain amount of time, but as things progress, if you find that this is an effective use of your class and it's a wonderful resource, I think it's something that you could definitely enjoy, again, both at the elementary and middle school levels. All right, so those are the digital learning tools that I use most often in my classroom, but I'd like to take some time to highlight some additional resources. And here are 11 digital resources that I feel that you might be able to use in your class. And while we won't explore them in detail, I'd like to give you a basic introduction to them so that you might choose to explore them in the future. So for students who need to make a video, simply including text, photos, and videos, Animoto is a wonderful free resource that's available to students both as an app and as a website. For any students that might be involved in a graphics class, Animaker is a very powerful tool that you can log into, create your own animations, and it gives students a real-world opportunity to get into it and see how some of the professionals have doing it in terms of in their displays that they're making. Code.org is another very popular site, and I'd put it right in between Tinker and Khan Academy because they offer a large variety of resources available for free, and students can log in and choose to code in different ways. It's also a great intro to coding, and they do a yearly activity called the Hour of Code. And if you haven't ever participated in that, I highly encourage you to do so. One of the most challenging aspects of this digital learning time is building a community within the classroom. And obviously, creating synchronous videos is one way to do that, but it's not necessarily feasible to all students all the time. So Flipgrid is actually one of my favorite resources on this list, and it allows you to link asynchronously with students while they record their own video, upload it to the site, and then create a discussion type column in which students can respond both by text or by video of their own. And so although students aren't working live together at the same time, they are able to maintain that community within the classroom by responding to each other in person. Now, if you're an English teacher or possibly a foreign language teacher, freerice.com offers a wide variety of quiz-based tools and activities for students to learn. You can create a teacher account and give them specific lessons, as well as test prep. So if you happen to be in high school and you're looking, or middle school, and you're looking to have students participate in PSAT or SAT prep, this might be a great resource for you to check out. Kahoot can add a lot of excitement to your classroom, and because of its game-based nature, students have the ability to synchronously answer these questions, and teachers can get that response immediately and share them back with the class. So it's a fantastic way to increase the excitement, but also to give teachers a very quick formative assessment, such as an exit ticket, or if you're in your math class and you want to get feedback based on one question, you can do that very quickly. Padlet is another tool that can be used to build a community. If you've ever participated in a professional development that has implemented a parking lot strategy where you post post-it notes, this will be something that you're able to do digitally. And so it's a fantastic resource to capture ideas of an entire class in a wonderful way. Prezi is yet another great site that talks about animation. So if you're looking to maybe do a little more than a PowerPoint or a Google Slides, both as a teacher or as a student, Prezi can be something for you. And they've recently instituted some additional options in terms of video, and kids can get quite creative using that. Again, for any STEM teachers out there, or possibly talented and gifted, Tinkercad is another free tool that would allow students to create 3D images. And so these designs can work fantastically well for students, whether they decide to 3D print them or not. We were fortunate enough this year to have a 3D printer, to have our school receive a 3D printer. And so these designs can be saved and then automatically sent to the computer or to the printer, and all runs quite smoothly. So whether or not you have a 3D printer, it is neat to see students create these 3D designs. Quizlet is another great tool used by both students and teachers. For studying, you're able to create flashcards, but much like Kahoot, you're able to create some fun interactive games as well. And last but not least, we had talked a lot about synchronous learning. One of the best free features that are out there is Zoom. And Zoom is a wonderful web conferencing tool. We've all heard about it lately, but I think it's continuing to grow in security each day. For schools that might not have access to things such as Google Meet or whatnot, Zoom can serve as a wonderful conferencing tool to get your students together at the same time within a relatively secure manner. Once again, this has been Carter Hoff with Acacia